Astros. They have been absolutely on fire. Third straight sweep. They've won 10 in a row. When does their pitching depth or lack thereof start to affect them?
Yeah, I don't. Everything that I've ever learned about baseball over my lifetime and certainly my career would tell you that it does catch up to you after a while. But I think what we're seeing. First of all, their pitching's been fine. I mean, and now they're having some injuries in their starting rotation, and so we will see if the offense can continue to mask the deficiencies of their pitching. But so far, I mean, they've been pitching pretty well. So what's happening, and I think that we're going to have to start talking about this more, is what the Astros have done. We talk about launch angle and we talk about exit velocity, and they're getting a lot of home run hitters in their lineup. And what they're doing is they are positioning their defenders to be in the exact spot where the ground balls are hit. And so they're getting ground ball pitchers to get them through these games. And then when ground balls are hit, the fielders are standing there. They have and I'm not exaggerating when I say they have every single batter worked out ahead of time, where it's all in these charts and graphs about exactly where these fielders are standing. So you have this combination now of where if there's a ground ball, it's an out. And not a lot of fly balls are being hit. The pitching's been pretty good. And then the offense, they're not hitting ground balls really at all. I know I'm exaggerating a little bit, but we're seeing like this home run barrage, and they seem to have just put this all together where they just have a lot of guys who can just hit the ball out of the park. And so this seems to be a combination. I am flabbergasted about what I'm seeing. I mean, this is the best start in franchise history, and I think they're a game ahead of the 2001 Mariners in terms of on pace for 117 wins now. Do I think that's going to last? No, but I'm looking at it. I'm like, I don't know. I'm looking at the schedule, and I see that they play the Nationals in August. I'm like, okay, well, that they might get swept in August. Other than that, it just doesn't seem like any team except for the Indians has been a challenge for them at all so far.
Yeah, it's just crazy what's going on down there with this team, and obviously creating a lot of excitement, I'm sure, down there in H-Town. But they made some great moves in the offseason. We've talked about how they added Bell. Talking about addressing some of those pitching holes there?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they'll have to make a deal at the deadline. I think that everyone knows they need another starting pitcher to really just nail this thing down. I mean, the division race is over, but I think that there are concerns about I don't think the Indians taking 5 of 6 was a fluke. There are definitely Indians. Situations the Astros don't have answers to in terms of some of the hitters and some of the matchups, and I think that's a concern. And then also, a little bit of a lack of pitching depth where you do need to get another starter in there to make sure that he's going 6-7 innings and to be able to maintain a bullpen that could be a little bit gassed by August or early September. I know that AJ Hinch would like to see another left-hander in the bullpen. He'd probably like another starter. I don't think that's any big secret. I think that's pretty much the understanding about what they need. So it's and keep in mind they're also getting the Cardinals 2 top draft picks in the draft this year. So with that, I believe that they will be able to be a little bit more aggressive and liberal in who they might trade at the deadline, and not be so concerned that they're really tapping into their depth, because they are getting those extra picks. It's going to be a big year for them in the draft this year again. So it's just good to be an Astro right now.
Right.